On the magic island of Euclidia, the Gregory party is learning more of the wonders of the place and learning them very rapidly. When their boat was pulled to the pier by magnetism, Mrs. Gregory and her daughter Joan, Captain Bradford, and Jerry Hall found no one to greet them. They know the Euclidean scientists expect their landing. It's very puzzling as they walk across the island, enter one of the automatic elevators, and descend to various levels, searching for G47 or one of his assistants. The mystery deepens as their elevator passes the 10th level, 100 feet below the surface of the sea and supposed to be the lowest level on the island. The elevator does not stop there, however, and we find them now 50 feet below the bottom of the island, 150 feet below the surface of the water, and still going down.
Oh, gee whiz, Joan. How far down does this elevator go?
I do not know, Jerry. I have only heard vague rumors of the Euclidean city below the ocean floor.
But, Joan, you said something about modern Atlantis. Surely you don't believe there's a lost continent under us.
Well, why not, Pat? The only people who refuse to believe the story of Atlantis are the same kind of people who said automobiles wouldn't run and airships wouldn't fly.
But, why, it's tremendous, Tex.
Yes, it's that all right.
Well, Joan's lived on this island 14 years. I should think she'd know more about this.
G47 and his men have not told me everything about Euclidia. I think we may see things of which I have never dreamed.
Well, the only time I ever did see this kind of stuff is when I was dreaming.
This elevator keeps going down. We must be nearly 100 feet below what we believe to be the foundation of the island. And yet we go down. Down into what?
Well, whatever it is, it's been made by man. If these Euclideans can stand it, I guess we can.
I am as greatly surprised as you are, Captain Bradford. My knowledge of Euclidia will be useless here.
Well, whatever's going to happen to us, I wish it would happen quick. I'm getting tired going all in one direction in an elevator.
We've stopped. No, we've started again.
Something wrong here. We're tipping over.
Hey, quit pushing me.
But I am not pushing you, Jerry.
Tex, we're falling.
Hold steady. I think it's going to be all right.
What's going on here? We're almost over on our side. This flame elevator is lying down flat. And it still goes.
Perhaps we are now traversing a horizontal passage.
Joan, dear, you think this elevator is traveling along a tunnel almost flat on its side?
It is obvious, is it not?
Well, golly whiskers. When their elevators are going to run like this, I wish somebody'd tell me so I could get on top. I'm all squashed.
Well, it is a little uncomfortable, Jerry, but we'll be all right.
Yeah, it's swell for you. You're on top. But I'm getting all the wind knocked out of me.
I think our position is changing again.
Why? Hope we don't have to stand on our heads.
No, Jerry, we're tipping back to an upright position.
Queer things, these Euclidean elevators.
Much too queer for me.
Me too. I like my elevators running up and down.
Is it not logical to have them also run horizontally?
Yes, dear, it's probably logical, but it's also upsetting.
We seem to be almost on even keel again now.
Yeah, I can tell that. I can get my breath.
But how long is this weird ride going to continue?
I have no way of determining that.
We're going at a terrific speed now. Wherever we're going, it shouldn't take us long to get there.
Have you any idea as to our direction?
Not the slightest.
We're going down.
Of course, Jerry, we all know that. What Mother meant was our direction from the center of the island during our progress along a level plane.
I wouldn't know.
We just passed another control of some type.
I hope we don't start upside down now.
We are stationary.
What?
Huh?
Joan's right. We've stopped moving.
Why, so we have.
Then I'll bet it won't be long until something else happens to us.
That is probably correct.
Well, I know it is. These Euclideans don't let much time go by without trying one of their tricks on you.
Well, we've evidently arrived at our destination.
Right, let's get out.
Do not open that door, Captain.
Why not?
I do not know why you should not. But it is well to remember that when the Euclideans wish you to pass through a door, that door is opened for you.
You mean we just stand here in this little steel coop until somebody lets us out?
Precisely.
It may be safer, as Joan suggests.
Well, no doubt of that, but I hope they don't keep us in here too long. I'd like to know where we are.
Well, we're somewhere near the Magic Island. You can sure tell when these Euclideans are running things. Everything always happens so you can't figure it out.
I think I'll take a chance and open this door.
I wish you would not, Captain.
Oh, please, Tex, if Joan is worried about it, surely we can spare the few minutes it may take for someone to come and let us out.
All right, Pat.
Yeah, maybe take a few hours if they don't want to see us right away.
The door is opening now.
Yes, look. The door is opening, and no one is touching it.
Well, that's merely the usual procedure around here.
Well, I'll say it is. After a few weeks in this island, you get too lazy to open doors for yourself.
This one is certainly opening without human aid, and I think it's time for us to leave.
Yes, let's get out before this thing decides to take us back up to the surface.
Huh? Say, this looks just like those passageways up in the island.
The construction is obviously the same. We are in a corridor of the transparent steel.
And I suppose that on either side of us, someone is watching through those walls.
Probably.
Well, they can't hurt us any by watching. Well, which way do we go?
You know as much about it as I do, kid.
I think we should proceed as we are going.
Okay, Joan, straight ahead.
This series of hallways seems to stretch endlessly in all directions.
Hey, that noiseless paint again.
Right, Jerry, our footsteps don't make a sound.
Apparently, the Euclidean devices are much the same here as on the surface. What is it called, Joan?
I have heard it referred to as a modern Atlantis, but the actual designation is Euclidia.
Oh, the same name as the island, huh?
Obviously.
You're not very certain about things down here, are you, Joan?
I am not, Captain. This is my first visit, and I heard it discussed but little.
Well, it's a mighty big place, if our walking means anything.
We can't even depend on that, Jerry. For all we know, we're walking in a circle.
That is possible.
Well, even a circle will bring you back to your starting point. We'd better be off at that elevator, and we are wandering around an endless hall.
Well, this is a fine thing. Here we come 4,000 miles to see people that we know want to see us, and when we get here, we can't find anybody.
It is indeed strange, Jerry, but I think it is being deliberately done, probably to impress us with G47's complete contempt for us.
I'm sure of that. It doesn't require any more demonstrations to make me feel absolutely helpless when I'm around this weird place. How long do you think we should keep up this aimless walking, Tex? Tex? Why, Tex!
Golly, Whiskers!
The captain is gone.
But where?
No place.
But he's gone, Jerry.
Well, I mean, there's no place he could have gone.
Joan, dear, what does this mean? What's happened?
I do not know, Mother.
Tex was walking right along here with us a minute ago.
He was beside me, or at least I thought he was, and then I spoke to him. And when I turned, he wasn't there.
Well, let's stand still a minute and try to figure this out.
Well, let's do something.
Do not allow yourself to become excited, Mother.
Excited when a man who was walking at my side suddenly disappears?
Joan means it won't do any good to get excited. We'll figure this out. Well, just keep cool like I am. And
You must be very cool, Jerry. You are shaking as if you had a chill.
yeah, I was just, well, oh, golly.
We haven't passed a doorway he could have stepped into.
The captain would not have done that without telling us.
But he's gone, Joan,
Well,
dear.
maybe turned off at one of those other hallways.
I think not. The captain was with us until long after we passed the last cross corridor.
Well, just the same, I'm going back and look for him.
Now, don't get too scared, Mrs. Gregory. These Euclideans do things like this to you all the time.
Nevertheless, I feel that Mother is right. We must retrace our steps and endeavor to discover what took place.
Oh, okay. Back we go.
It should be only a few steps. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, he's right.
well, this is a solid metal wall.
And yet this is the way we came. There is no other way.
We reversed our direction, and the corridor is too narrow to permit a turn we didn't notice. Yet there's a solid steel panel tightly closed against us.
Then it slid into place without a sound, and I'll bet the captain is on the other side of it.
Do not attempt to call out to him, Mother.
But, Joan,
I
we
know what is best under these circumstances. The captain was deliberately separated from this party, and we would be foolish to attempt to locate him.
You mean we should leave him there without trying to reach him?
I guess Joan's right, Mrs. Gregory. We'd only make fools of ourselves trying to see anything these Euclideans didn't want us to see, and they really might hurt us if we made them too mad.
Well, yes, I can see that, but after
We
all-
will proceed along the corridor as we were doing.
Yeah. We sure can't do Tex any good, and we'd better try to get somewhere.
Yes, but where?
Well, just anywhere except this hallway.
Jerry is wise, Mother. It is to our advantage to locate someone at once and receive some advice on our position.
Very well, Joan. Come on. It seems a terrible thing to leave Tex here somewhere and go on without him. But we couldn't do him any good if G47 doesn't want us to reach him.
I took Jerry through many experiences, even more terrifying than this. And we were not harmed, were we, Jerry? Jerry!
Stand still, Joan.
Jerry is gone!
Yes, and if we don't move from this spot, we may be able to see where he went.
I think not. There was no sound, no disturbance. Yet Jerry has vanished as completely as if he were in another world.
Yes, another world. Joan, we are in another world. A world that we don't understand. I'm going back and... Oh, that steel door wasn't more than a foot behind us.
And Jerry is undoubtedly behind that partition.
Well, I'm not going to stand for any more of this. They can come and put me in one of their cells if they want to. But I'm going to find out what's happening. Jerry! Jerry! Jerry!
Mother, please, that will do no good.
No, you're right. It won't do any good. Nothing does any good in this wild place. Oh, why doesn't someone come and take us? Take us to a cell. Take us before G47. Do anything with us to get us out of this awful uncertainty.
Come, Mother. We will proceed.
Proceeding into what?
That we will learn when the scientists are ready to have their wishes made known. We will walk rapidly and quietly.
Yes. Yes, we'll walk. Come on, Joan. We'll walk like this, putting one foot before the other, walking heavily on a steel floor, yet making no sound. And then one of us will be next, and one of us will be left alone. Alone to face what?
Be calm, Mother. Be calm.
Yes. Yes. Be calm while my world falls to pieces around me. Be calm while you're in danger. Hold tightly my hand, Joan. Oh, I'll never let them separate us. Hold tightly, Joan. Oh! Joan! Joan! Where are you, Joan?
Down in the depths of a strange underwater world, the little band of adventurers are having their troubles one at a time. When Mrs. Gregory, Captain Bradford, Jerry, and Joan started down inside the island of Euclidia in one of the automatic elevators, they didn't even dream of the sort of thing they would find. Carried down to a level which they believed to be about 200 feet below sea level, 100 feet below the foundation of the island, they set out to walk along one of the familiar corridors of polished steel. One by one, they disappear. Captain Bradford first, then Jerry, Joan next, and finally Mrs. Gregory. They are still separated. The first one we find is Jerry Hall. Jerry is seated in a small metal chair. A bright light shines into his eyes, and out of the blackness before him a strange voice speaks.
You will answer my questions, Hall?
Maybe, if I can.
You can, if you will.
Well, what are your questions?
Where is Captain Bradford?
I don't know.
Where is Cleostra?
Who?
Cleostra, the living symbol of the perfect calendar.
Oh, you mean Joan Gregory.
You will learn that on Euclidia we say precisely what we mean.
Precisely? That sure sounds familiar. Well, why don't you come out in the light where I can see you?
I will ask the questions here.
Well, then ask some I can answer.
Where is Cleostra?
I don't know.
Then where
I
is...
don't know.
I did not complete my interrogation.
Well, you didn't need to. You're going to ask me where Mrs. Gregory is, and I don't know. And I don't know where any of the others are.
Do you know where you are?
Sure, I'm right here.
You are very foolish, Hall.
Well, I guess I am. Anybody's foolish that lets themselves get caught by a crazy bunch of guys like you've got on this island.
You are not on the island.
Well, under the island, then.
You are not under the island.
Well, maybe I am foolish. But we came down under the island, I'm sure of that.
Did you come down a true vertical course?
Oh, we come down a true... Oh, say, now look here. When you mean straight down, why don't you say straight down?
We of Euclidia do not speak in the jargon of your commonly mutilated variations of the English language.
Okay, I know a few big words myself. But I don't show off all the time by using them. Now, I don't know a thing you want to know. So why don't you let me go and find Mrs. Gregory and the rest of our bunch?
The word bunch is perhaps an adequate description of your ill-assorted expedition.
Well, our expedition was plenty good enough to find this island.
That was made very simple for you.
Oh, yeah, I know. Old G47 wanted to see the captain and try to get something he's got. But we escaped from this island, didn't we?
Are you not here now?
Now, look here. You haven't asked me a question that you don't know the answer to better than I do. And there's no sense in my trying to answer any more of them.
I am thoroughly convinced there would be no intelligence displayed in anything you might be a part of. That is all.
Oh, can I go now? I said, can I go now? Okay. I can sit here as long as you can. Hey, don't turn that light out. Well, I'm not afraid of the dark. Well, why don't you go on talking? I wonder if... Yeah. That's it. I'm alone. That guy's gone.
Jerry, is that you, Jerry?
Yeah, this is Jerry. Where are you, Tex?
I'm right here. Where are you?
Well, I'm right here.
At least we're in the same room, I think.
Well, I don't like to do much moving around in the dark in these places.
Well, neither do I, but it can't be helped. Now, you stay where you are and keep talking. I'll try to come to your voice. Tell me, what happened to Pat and Joan?
Well, same thing has happened to us, I suppose.
Well, you suddenly pulled into an open steel panel?
I sure was. Just a minute or two after you disappeared.
Well, I disappeared the same way.
Hey, somebody grabbed my arm. Let go.
Steady, Jerry. I've got hold of your arm.
Oh, golly whiskers. You never know what's liable to happen to you in this place.
What about Pat and Joan?
Well, I don't know. They were together when I got lifted off my feet and jerked into a little room.
Then you were brought in here for questioning.
Yeah, that fellow Thales, it sounded like. But I couldn't be sure. He talked a lot like old G47.
Yeah, we've heard him talk in other ways, too. Well, I've been questioned just as you have. And I was honored by having G47 himself work on me.
Ooh, what did he have to say?
Nothing. He wanted me to do all the talking, and I didn't say any more than he did.
Well, that must have been a noisy meeting.
Well, not very. However, there's no use in our trying to hide our purposes from these Euclideans, Jerry. And no use fooling ourselves. They know we've come here to try and do something about this island because we're afraid of what they may do to the world if they're left alone.
Well, what do you think they're going to do to us?
Nothing for the time being.
I hope Joan and Mrs. Gregory are all right.
No, if there were some lights in this place, we'd try to find them.
Gee, lights. They came on just as you said lights.
We're being watched and overheard, of course.
Well, I like the light. I don't care who's looking at it.
This room seems to have been designed for just such a purpose as this. Nothing in it but these straight steel chairs.
Well, where are we? Do you know exactly?
No, except that we're somewhere under the floor of the ocean and not far from the surface location of the island.
Is this where we're supposed to stay?
No telling, kid. I'm just as much in the dark as you are.
Jerry! Captain Bradford!
Hello, Joan.
I have been feeling my way along cold steel walls until I felt a panel open before me. And I am so glad to see you.
Well, we're glad to see you, too, Joan. Where's your mother?
I do not know. I was taken from her side as quickly and noiselessly as were you and Jerry. I have not seen her since.
Sure a lot of mysterious junk around here. Did one of the Euclideans ask you questions, Joan?
Yes, I was blinded by a strong light focused directly into my eyes, while my interrogator remained in total darkness. But I believe it was Thales.
Uh-huh. The same guy who worked on me.
And what was your experience, Captain Bradford?
About the same as yours and Jerry's, except that I was questioned by G47. Such things as what were we doing here and why had we come and what would we attempt to do now that we were here.
The interviews must have been practically identical then.
Joan, dear.
Hey, it's Mrs. Gregory.
We're all safe, Mother.
I'm so glad, Joan, dear, and Jerry and Tex. What happened to you?
Same as happened to you, I expect. A dark room, questions, then silence, and you were alone.
Yes, Tex. How did you know?
Well, it's just happened to all of us.
Oh, thank heavens we're together again. And I hope we can stay together.
The lights, they're going out.
Now what's coming?
Now, take it easy till we find out. Everyone stand still. Hold each other's hands. Give me your hand, Jerry.
Right, Tex. There it is.
Mother, give me your hand.
Well, I will when I can find yours in the dark. There, dear.
Now, Pat, your hand. That's right. And whatever you do, don't let go. Any of you.
Well, what do you expect? Tex?
Anything. But whatever happens, let's keep from being separated as long as we can.
So, we are all together.
G47.
Precisely.
What's the idea of the black magic, G47? You can do just about as you wish with us here. Why put on this cheap show?
Ah, my dear Captain, you will learn to entertain a greater respect for me before you see the outside world again.
Just where are we now?
You are in Euclidia.
That might mean anything.
It might indeed. Now, you will answer some questions.
What, again?
Mrs. Gregory, what do you hope to gain by this visit to Euclidia?
Hey, that's not G47.
It is Thales, I believe.
Where is your formula, Captain Bradford?
My formula is safe from you.
What were the materials you brought on your boat?
What experiments did you hope to conduct here?
The compounding of that formula by anyone except a scientist of Euclidia will seal your fate.
Tex, just what I thought. We're only safe until they can force you to give up that formula.
They'll never do that.
Never is a longer period of time than any human is allowed to hold a secret.
We will never give this up, G47.
You are very foolish to ally yourself with this hopeless cause, Cleostra.
Now, wait a minute, you two. I'm not a bit frightened by these third-degree methods. I can talk and reason as well in the dark as you can. I'm the only one of this group who knows my formula. The only one in the world. And the only written copy of the formula I destroyed when we were in Los Angeles. You can't browbeat any secrets out of the others, and you'll never get them from me.
Good for you, Tex.
We all feel the same way.
Very heroic. However, your sweeping gestures have the weakness of all heroics. They have no value in the face of fact.
But the formula is a fact, and my having it a fact.
And is it not a fact that you would surrender the formula before you would allow harm to come to any of these others?
Well,
No, Captain. We are able to undertake anything with you.
Yes, Joan, dear. But the four of us mean very little when the safety of the world is at stake.
Do you think you 4 weak fools are of any value in the world?
Well, as long as we can keep guys like you from running wild and upsetting all our countries, we're plenty of good to the world, and that's more than you are.
We of Euclidia have knowledge that is priceless to your elementary world.
That depends on your senses of values. We're going to do everything within our power to see that your vast scientific knowledge is not used to harm the world.
No, never mind, Pat. We're only wasting our breath. Let's just let them talk, and when the time comes, we'll find a way to do the right things.
Does anyone in your world ever do the right things?
Hey, listen. That's the signal to submerge the island.
That means we will not see the daylight for some time.
The island is being submerged completely and will remain so until we have that formula.
Well, we can stand it down here if you can.
And in the meantime, there are warships from every nation in the world ready to come to this position and attack the island if we do not return within a specified time.
That is interesting indeed. For those warships, we'll find only the crater of an extinct volcano.
A volcano? Under the water?
So that's where you got the foundation of the island.
Precisely.
The island was built in the crater of a volcano, and that made your excavations easy. Gives you plenty of space under the ocean floor.
Several millions of cubic feet.
Millions of cubic feet? In what?
In Euclidia, where this room is located, where you are now more than 200 feet below the surface of the water, and this is the highest level of the city.
City? I told you, Mother, I thought there was a city here.
When will you let us see this place?
You will be free to explore it at your pleasure tomorrow. It is not necessary to warn you that escape is hopeless.
No, we can see that for ourselves. Anyway, we didn't come here this time to try and escape.
You may go to your quarters when you so desire.
And I suppose we've got to walk around here in the dark and fall over a lot of steel chairs trying to find a door. Hey!
You're wrong, Jerry. There's plenty of light now.
G47.
And Thales.
They are gone.
Golly, gone without a sound. And they were both right here in front of us.
Don't let that bother you. We're going to have a lot of things more serious than disappearing tricks to contend with.
Yes, our position is serious now, Tex.
We cannot escape as we did from the island.
No, they're not kidding about that. We're 200 feet below the ocean.
200 feet. Under the water. It might as well be 200 miles.